Hey everybody, it's GobletX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'll be playing a quick draft of Zendikar Rising. This is a format that came out before 2021, so before I did my almost daily videos, so I did not draft this format nearly as much as many of the others. I believe it also came out near the end of 2020, so I didn't draft it in paper either, so this is going to be me hopping in with barely any experience in the format. And just seeing how it goes. So this pack looks pretty basic. A lot of pretty simple commons, nothing super wild there. We do have a removal spell in the common slot with Bubble Snare, or when we look at the rare here, Glasspool Mimic seems like a pretty fun card. They do throw it in the cube now and then, and it plays pretty well. Your mileage may vary, of course, because it does copy another creature you control, so if you don't have any other good creatures, it's not going to do too much for you, but a creature that doubles as a land is a pretty good deal, especially when that creature is a nice cheap, just 3-drop for whatever you're copying. So I think I'll just take a Glasspool Mimic here. Doesn't seem like there's anything super wild in this pack. Seems like a fine way to start. Pack 2 here, another pack where there's nothing that looks super wild to me. We do have Nahiri's Lithoforming as the rare, which seems limited, unplayable. Seagate Banneret seems like a decent common, kind of sturdy for the size with an Anthem effect if you're going wide. Into the Royals, probably going to be my pick. This card has been putting in a lot of work in Dominaria. The blink of an eye is what it's called there. And I have been drafting a lot of Dominaria lately, so my pick order might be a little weighted by that, but this card was super sweet in Dominaria, so I expect it not to be too much worse here in Zendikar. Other than that, Canopy Bailoff seems pretty beefy, and I know that like the Wizards deck was pretty good, and Chilling Trap, if you have a Wizard down, is a way to just spend 1 mana and draw a card. A 1-mana Befuddle seems like a really good deal after playing Dominaria. And then yeah, some filler creatures, maybe filler little counterspell, but I'll go into the Royal here. Pick 3 now. This will be pretty simple for me because I am a big fan of the modal double-faced cards. Probably too big of a fan. I probably overvalue these a bit, but Umara Wizard seems like a pretty spicy card to me. If you've got the mana in the late game, you've got a 4/3 down that can get flying pretty easily, and if you've got it in the early game and you're low on lands, you can just play it as it comes into play, tapped land. Other than that, in this pack, there's just some decent creatures at smaller sizes, which might be important. This might be more of an aggressive format, but I like these modal cards. Just really like the flexibility of them. Alright, here we are in pick 5 of just drafting a Dominaria deck in Zendikar. Cunning Geyser Mage is basically a 6-mana version of the Wizard from Dominaria that bounces a card when it comes into play. So definitely more expensive than that one, but this one a little more flexible. You can play it as a 3-mana 3/2 if you want, or a 6-mana 3/2 that bounces a card. Seems decent to me, especially when I'm going for that kind of Wizard tempo deck with the blink of an eye and the Into the Royal here, so yeah, we'll just continue drafting a Dominaria deck in Zendikar. Pick 5 now. We do have another modal card, however it is off color. We're only guaranteed to be blue here. We've got the Relic Amulet, which is a pretty good wizard build around, so I might scoop that up. We have 2 wizards and an instant already to trigger the charge counter ability on this, and if you can consistently trigger this could be multiple removal spells in one. So if I remember right, these kind of build around uncommons were pretty solid. There's also Tazim Royal Mage, which might be good too. It's Dominaria, it's Zendikar Rising's version of the 2-mana 1/3 that you can kick to bring back an instant or sorcery from your grave to hand, so we could really just go for the literal Dominaria wizard deck here. But I like Relic Amulet, seems powerful. Pick 6 now that we've got a good start towards trying to play the wizard deck with a bunch of instants and sorceries, we could take Chilling Trap. Since this is just 1 mana draw a card, it just cycles right through there real quick. Adds your charge counter to Relic Amulet, draws you your next card, which might be another wizard to play and add a charge counter to the Relic Amulet. There's also Skyclave Plunder, which is a pretty big card draw spell. Yeah, even if you have no creatures in your party, this is just 5 mana draw 3. And if you have a wizard, that would be 1 creature in your party. You get to look at the top 4 and pick 3 out of them and put them in your hand. This does seem pretty good. It's between Skyclave Plunder and Chilling Trap for me, I think. Maybe Anti-Cognition, but not much of a counterspell player. I'm going to go with the Skyclave Plunder here since it is the uncommon. It's the card we're going to see less often. I don't expect Chilling Traps to just get scooped up by the bots all over the place, so we should get probably as many as we want even taking the Skyclave Plunder here. So here in classic Dominaria fashion again, we can take a Divination, 3 mana to draw 2, or if we kick it, it'll be 6 mana to draw 3. Obviously the 6 mana draw 3 is not a super good deal, but it gives you something to do when you top deck this when you're flooded out, which is always a good deal. Yeah, Divination is frequently good, and nothing off color in this pack's really pushing me towards that color. And on color, there's just the kind of Scry Wizard, sort of an Octo Prophet, but worse. Because I think currently our party's only going to have one creature type. It's just going to be Wizards, so a 4 mana 3/3 that scries 1 when it hits the board. Not particularly exciting, and a little 2 mana 1/3 with not much text. Not super exciting either. Pick 8 now. So these all look really filler for whatever strategy they are. I don't think that we'll really want to kite sail when we're just in mono blue so far, so I'm just going to take something off color here. The question is what looks strongest to me, and they all look super filler. I guess we could take the red card because we'd probably rather be in blue-red than anything else, with the Relic Amulet leading us into a Wizards deck. I believe it's blue-red Wizards in this format as well, like it is in Dominaria. So I'll just take like the Tier Peak Ambusher, I guess. Pick 9 now. We could take a Shell Shield, I suppose. Little expensive way to give something hexproof. Kind of like a 2 mana negate for a removal spell from your opponent. Seems pretty whatever to me. Again, nothing off color really pushing me into another color. The best card here is probably like Territorial Scythecat looks pretty good. Getting a counter every time you landfall. But I'm going to take the Shell Shield here. We are definitely a blue deck. And this pack will be an easy Chilling Trap. A random off color card. Sure. Random off color card. Skyclave Squid does not seem super good, but neither does Scorch Rider. I don't know, I guess I'll take the Squid. And a last pick Chilling Trap, so super glad I took the Skyclave Plunder over the Chilling Trap. See what we open up in pack 2. So here we see a Roost of Drakes, which was one of the more powerful build-around uncommons. I do remember this card being absurd. So by itself, it is 4 mana for a 2/2 flyer, because it does make a 2/2 flyer when you kick it, and then every time you cast a kicked spell, you can create another 2/2 flying Drake. We already have a few cards that will work well with this. We have Shell Shield, Into the Royal, Cunning Geyser Mage, Field Research. Yeah, that's already a decent amount of kicker cards, and now we can start taking them highly. Kicker, I believe, is the blue-green archetype in the format. We do have one Marasa Brute for heading in that direction, so maybe that will kind of solidify our second color if we see some good green kicker cards. But yeah, let's take a Roost of Drakes here. Alright, we see a pretty great on-color kicker card. I don't think I'm going to take much else over that. Bubble Snare here, it'll be our first hard removal spell as well, rather than temporary removal. 4 mana to tap something down and keep it locked, or just 1 mana to keep it tapped down. Really nice kicker card to work with our Roost of Drakes. Unfortunately, not much going on in blue for us here. Shell Shield is fine, but I would much prefer other kicker cards. I don't want to end up running like 3 copies of a card that just gives something hexproof, because they'll be dead in our hand a lot. In green, I guess we have Reclaim the Wastes, which would be okay if we're trying to do like 3 or more colors, but I don't think we will be. I guess it does have a kicker cost. We could just grab a big green dork like a Zondu Stomper, I suppose. Just a 6 mana 6/5, and if we had to play any of our flip cards as lands in the early game, it lets us pick them up, essentially draw cards off of them. So if we've got a Glasspool Shore or an Umara Skyfalls on board, all of a sudden this is a 6 mana 6/5 trample that draws a card when it ATBs. I guess I'll go with the Stomper here. Seems fine to me. Subtle Strike's always a super good combat trick. We're not really looking to go blue-black. Blue-black is like rogues and mill and stuff, which doesn't really vibe with our blue at all, or mesh well. So I'll take a Zondu Stomper. Well, pick 4 is pretty empty for us over here in blue-green, but we could take Synchronized Spellcraft in case we do head in the red direction with Wizards. Just 5 mana, instant speed, 4 damage to any target, or just target creature. Pick 5 here. Expedition Diviner looks pretty fine to me. 4 mana for a 3/2 flyer. If we control another wizard, then we will draw a card when this creature dies. So it's an okay deal by itself, a 4 mana 3/2 flyer, and it's a great deal if you have a wizard on board. So here it looks like we just have a Fisher Wizard for the blue-red Wizards deck. Seems good to me. Now pick 7. Nothing going on in blue or red. I guess Scorch Rider does have a kicker cost if we go for blue-red Wizards. It isn't a wizard, but it is a kicker. Whereas in green, it's just like a combat trick that has a kicker cost, so that we're much likely to want to play, or much less likely to want to play. Ascetic does gain us some life when it comes in. It's quite a big card, but I think I'm going to go Scorch Rider here. Another Field Research is pretty beautiful. The only color we are completely glued to is blue, and we're looking for kicker cards. So scoop up a Field Research. I guess Cascade Seer here for a filler wizard card, and the only color we're definitely playing. Nothing great here. I guess we take the on-color little rogue. And just more on-color stuff to throw in the sideboard for now. I suppose as we finish off the pack. Let's see what we've opened up in pack 3. So here it pretty much just looks like another Umara Wizard, which is fine by me. Yeah, we'll roll with it here. Another Synchronized Spellcraft here now in pick 2. Nothing great in the green side of things, or the blue side, so Synchronized Spellcraft it shall be. Another Expedition Diviner now. Pick 4. Another Fisher Wizard. I think we're definitely pushing into just blue-red wizards here. Again, the green here just doesn't look super good. Relic Vial for the Cleric stack. Ooh, wow, another great wizard and kicker card. It's going to help both the strategies we're going for. The Merfolk Falconer. 5 mana for 4/4 flyer. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, scry 2. Don't mind if I do. Another phenomenal tribal wizard here, the Windrider Wizard, 3 mana for a 2/2 flyer that allows us to draw a card and discard a card every time we cast an instant, sorcery, or wizard. Pick 7 now. We've got the Jwari Disruption, a little counterspell that we can play as a land. Sees a lot of standard play, solid card. Another Cunning Geyser Mage, pick 8, again works perfectly with the two things we're trying to do, which is play wizards and play kicker spells. Now we can take a Pyroclastic Hellion, so we have something to pick up our modal lands in just blue-red, rather than in green that we're not playing. Here we can just take a Spare Supplies, because we've solidified ourselves into blue-red, so nothing off-color matters. Nothing off-color matters. So just take the on-color cards. And let's build a deck. Alright, so here is the deck that I've decided to go with today. We did cut the big 5 mana draw spell because we have double Field Research, double Chilling Chap, so I don't think I need the big, less flexible draw spell. Cut one of the Synchronized Spellcrafts because we do have Relic Amulet filling that role a little bit, and it is a pretty expensive removal spell in comparison to our cheaper stuff like Bubble Snare, Relic Amulet, Jwari Disruption. We can use to mess with our opponent, and I think we do want to keep the curve low, especially with our instants and sorceries. We'd like them to be all cheap stuff we can filter through really quickly for the Relic Amulets. Other than that, this is pretty much all our good blue and red wizards cards. We do have like a squid in here because we're a pretty low creature count. 14 creatures, so we had to have some kind of filler in here, so there's a squid. 2 mana 3/2 is a pretty good deal. If you're consistently hitting Landfall, then it is a 2 mana 3/2. Otherwise, it is a defender, but even as a defender, it can fill a decent role for any deck that has a good amount of flyers, which we do have. We've got Windrider Wizard, double Expedition Diviner, Merfolk Falconer, and double Umara Wizard. So it can sit there and be an annoying blocker while we send in the sky. So yeah, blue-red Wizards deck. Just taking everything I learned in Dominaria and applying it to Zendikar Rising and seeing what happens. So let's do just that as we hop into the gameplay. Alright, we will keep this opener because we've got double Fisher Wizard to get out of the flood. Opponent is on mono red so far, starting with Grotag Bugcatcher. Scary card that can attack for quite a lot of damage early on. A 2/2 Trampler all by its lonesome. Draw our card here. Another land. We'll definitely cycle away another with this Fisher Wizard, number 2. Ardent Electromancer, which will give them 2 mana. A mana for each creature in their party. The aggressive party decks can be terrifying, because they can have some absurd curves like we might be about to see here. Bugcatcher into Electromancer into another creature. Yep, Teeterpeak Ambusher. So they are just going to be slamming in here. We are 100% taking every trade we can get in the early game, because we need to survive this initial onslaught from our opponent. So we'll cast another Fisher Wizard here. Discard another island. See what we hit. Another land. Well, these are not looking ideal so far. We need a lot of early game action to counteract a quick start like this, and another Electromancer, meaning they can really flood out the board here. It's just mono red party time. Kargan Intimidator, that is really scary. That is a very good rare. Cowards can't block warriors. For just 1 mana, they can make target creature a coward until end of turn, and 2 of their creatures are automatically warriors. So, yeah, they can just shut off our blocks pretty easily. They can also get trample, get +1/+1. Alright, well, Electromancer is going to get blocked. This doesn't give anything else +1/+1, does it? No, it does not. So we'll trade with Electromancer here. Down to 17. We hit an Into the Royal. So we can Into the Royal or Expedition Diviner. I think we need to just try to permanently kill something right now, even though we don't draw the card off the Diviner. It's not ideal. Their creatures are all just so low mana to Into the Royal. Definitely not a great matchup for bounce spells. Their stuff is all mega cheap. Alright, so we're going to be trading with their next Electromancer here, I think. Because we can't block anything else, because we are a coward. Alright, taking 7 down to 10. Roost of Drakes is here now. If we can Roost of Drakes... it doesn't matter because we just can't block anything. I think Kargan Intimidator takes it. Because we Roost of Drakes to get a 2/2 down, but then they just hit us really hard and unblockably. Like, then we're going to get a Drake every time we cast one of these other spells, but I don't think it's going to matter. Like, even if we Into the Royal Kargan Intimidator, then we just don't have a creature down and they slam us for 5 damage with Ambusher anyway. So, I don't think our line matters too much. I feel like Roost of Drakes has the biggest chance of possibly stabilizing after casting a bunch of kicked stuff, because then we can Into the Royal during their turn after an attack. I guess they could just respond by, again, making it so we just can't block. No, Kargan Intimidator. It's just being super rude. Yeah, no. We could have 3 blockers, I guess. They can only use... Yeah, I guess they could actually only use that ability 1 time. But Intimidator can get trample. So what do we do here? If they can only use that ability 1 time... If we Geyser Mage the Intimidator, we have 3 blockers down for the Teeterpeak Ambusher, and it doesn't have trample. Oh wait, no, any warrior gains trample. Okay, so we have to hold Into the Royal, because we have to be able to bounce whichever one they give trample at instant speed, which I think means we can't win if they do it at the right time. Because they attack in, we have to Into the Royal to get a blocker down and block the other one. Which means unless they just decide to choose what gets trample right now, they just give trample to the creature we don't bounce. in response to us choosing what we are bouncing. Yeah, we can't win. Because our kicker ability resolves, they know we're going to have a blocker, so they just give trample to Ambusher, buff it up. I guess they hit us to 1, actually. Right? If we block? Oh, that shuts off the ability that cowards can't block warriors? Oh my god. Oh my god, no, we've got a big chance. I didn't realize that was just a... I thought it was just like cowards can't block warriors till end of turn alongside the target creature becomes a coward. Oh my god. Now we just keep tempoing them, getting more blockers. That can't get haste in any way, so we start attacking. Oh my god. Okay, alright. We're in it. We're in it. They could always draw a burn spell off the top and just yeet us off the board. Oh, we need to be able to stop 6 trample damage. Even if our biggest creature can't block, so we can't attack with anybody this turn, I think is what's going on here. Don't have enough mana to play 2 cards. Whatever creature we play this turn is the one that's going to become a coward, so don't think it matters too much. So I'll play the more expensive one, so it's possible we can Hellion and Diviner on a later turn. That's pretty unlikely though, because I'd have to Hellion, pick up a land, replay it, and then I'd have 3 mana next turn. And I'm gonna cast one of these next turn. So maybe I just play Diviner instead, so I have... If they kill one of my creatures, I draw a card. Alright, we have to hold for the triple block on Intimidator here, because it will be a 6/2 trample and one of our creatures can't block it. So Diviner cannot block it. Alright, removal or burn kills us. Or a combat trick. Looks like none of that though. We'll get the kill on the Intimidator. Just a land for turn, alright. Get a Falconer down here. So now we have a wizard for Diviner's ability. There's so many cards that kill us. It's not even funny. 5/4 haste doesn't quite do it. Falconer has to trade into that though. Windrider Wizard. Cool. They're down to 10. We have lethal on board next. No, we don't. We have 9 damage on board. But they scoop them up. All right. Oh my god. I was certain we had no shot that game. An incredible aggressive start from the mono red party deck, but they run out of steam as we tempo them out of the game, bouncing all their stuff and trading into their leftover creatures. Wow. Yeah, Roost of Drakes was huge there. We got, what, 3 Drakes out of it? To have enough creatures to make those big trades. Whew. Incredible game 1. Game 2 now, we'll definitely keep this. No play till turn 3, but pretty good late game here. Playing against another blue deck. We've got a Fisher Wizard. I think I'll discard Spell Shield here, actually. And hit a land. So we are on 4 out of the 5 mana we need for the Umara Wizard. And now we have it. Alright. Let's just jam out the Cunning Geyser Mage, I think. So we can start jamming in, especially with a Chilling Trap alongside it. Mono blue from our opponent so far. Field Research is the play, draw 2, and they'll pass turn to us. Merfolk Falconer is now our turn 5 play. Send in our Geyser Mage. Hit for 3, and pass the turn. They are blue-red as well, so probably the mirror match here. Some more wizards running around. Grotag Bugcatcher. Alright, card is scary. Already attacks as a 3/2 trample. Got the mana for our Falconer, so that's probably what we play here. But if we find a good line with Chilling Trap, we'll do that instead. Nope, just hitting for 3 again. And here's the Falconer. Draw a Disruption from our opponent. Deliberate, scry 2 and draw a card here. So our Merfolk Falconer will resolve. Five mana from our opponent. Now they've got enough for their own Merfolk Falconer or Umara Wizard or anything like that. But synchronized spellcraft it is. Just go ahead and shoot down our Merfolk Falconer. Set in with the Bugcatcher. Easy trade here. Get that off the board. I don't want to deal with it. So now we've got Bubble Snare, Jawari Disruption, Chilling Trap, and Umara Wizard. Just send in. No need to Chilling Trap here. Just put them to 11 or have our Geyser Mage tap down for 1 turn. Alright, and here's Umara Wizard. 4/3 that it's not hard to give flying to. Seagate Colossus, just a big old 7/5 here. Probably Bubble Snare that, right? I feel like that's the thing. I guess we could Cascade Seer instead and just make Umara Wizard flying and just hit them this turn. Go a little wider. Because Umara Wizard is going to get tapped down by Cleric of Chill Depths if I just Bubble Snare here. That's probably okay. Just deal with the big scary card. Well, we know we can. Now they've got no blockers on the board. I'm glad I didn't end up trying to do a Chilling Trap play, because it's just whenever it blocks a creature. It's not even when it deals damage to a creature. That's a really weird way to do it. I remember all the Orochi from the original Kamigawa. Those snakes, they were like venomous, so it was that when they dealt combat damage, a creature would stay tapped for a while. So they're at 8 life. We attack with Geyser Mage, trade a 3/2 up into a 3/3 is what we're threatening, but then we just surprise Chilling Trap to win the combat and draw a card. And they're just going to scoop them up, alright. And I think what we're going to do there is just play land, Pyroclastic Kelly, and get another big creature on the board, deal some damage to them. So 2-0 now, as we head into round 3. Alright, here we are in round 3, and I'll keep this. We got Jawari Disruption to get our 3rd mana towards our 4 mana flyer here. Probably just playing the Disruption as a land in the early game. I think I'll even do that just turn 1 here. Get it out of the way in case I draw a 2 mana card turn 2. And I want to just keep all my mana untapped and play, 2-drop into 3-drop that stuff. We did draw a Relic Amulet here, which is really nice to play before we cast anything else. So we'll get the maximum number of charge counters off of it. And we've hit the Expedition Diviner's 4th mana. Playing against the Boros deck, red and white. Canyon Jerboa it is, an adorable little landfall card. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. And we'll just drop our 4 mana 3/2 flyer here, putting a counter on the Relic Amulet. Yeah, Jerboa is adorable. An Expedition Champion. Jerboa is pretty easy to shoot with a Relic Amulet, so I'm not going to trade off our Diviner into it here. I'm just going to wait till our turn so we can throw 2 charge counters at it. I guess in order to do that, we'd need a land drop alongside this Windrider Wizard. But that's okay, we just play the Wizard and hold up a Chilling Trap for now. Chilling Trap to stop some damage. Then I guess we get to shoot something for 3 instead, so that might be a little wasteful with our charge counters. Do we remove any number, or do we remove all of them? Remove all of them, so yeah, we're gonna have to be a little wasteful. Oh dear, that's a Tazri? Look at the top 6 cards of the library. Reveal up to 2 Clerics, Rogues, Warriors, Wizards, or Allies. Put them into your hand. That's really terrifying. Okay. That is far from ideal. Alright, let's Chilling Trap here to stop a bunch of damage. Draw a card, discard a card 2. Draw an Umara Wizard. I guess we can get rid of like Spell Shield here, doesn't really do much, but it does fill a Relic Amulet up. Maybe Skyclave Squid? But we want more creatures to trade off. I feel like Spell Shield just doesn't do much. Another Umara Wizard. We block the 1/4 and just take 2. Okay. Well, we definitely need to play a Wizard as a land. And then we can play our Squid and shoot the Expedition Champion for 3. It's probably the plan. Yeah, I think that's the plan. That's the idea here. It doesn't have Vigilance, does it? No, Tazri doesn't have Vigilance, so we could maybe get a cheap Bubble Snare on Tazri in the future. Hit for 5 in the sky, and we're ready to block and kill Jerboa. We just take 4, so we're hitting them for more damage than they're hitting us for. Unless they landfall. I guess they hit us for 5 instead of 4. No landfall from our opponent, so we'll just take the 4. Then we'll spend 1 mana to Bubble Snare Tazri. So we've got that dealt with. Just play another big flyer to try to close out the game in 2 turns here. We've got the mana for a flyer plus a Bubble Snare. Yeah, I like Falconer Bubble Snare. I guess I forgot about my draw discard. I should have thought about that first. If we play Fisher Wizard, we can Relic Amulet. It only does damage to creatures though, so it's only going to kill the Jerboa anyway. I guess I'd rather keep Wizard. The Umara Wizard than the Fisher Wizard. Alright, so if they have 1,000,000 in mana, they can still dump it into Tazri's ability. But they need a lot. Alright, so they do. Just scoop them up here. That is going to be 3-0 for the Wizards deck. Really just flying on over that game. Relic Amulet put in some work too. Did get 1 kill. Round 4 now. 3-0. More than happy to 3-3 or better in the return to Zendikar Rising drafts here. I think I need to just play this Glasspool Mimic here, because I'm trying to hit 5 mana for Merfolk Falconer. Tazim Royal Mage from our opponent. 2 mana, 2/1. We'll play Relic Amulet first, so we can play Fisher Wizard next turn, and then shoot the Royal Mage with the Amulet. Try to just get a ton of value off of this. Cunning Geyser Mage from our opponent. Now we can Fisher Wizard to trade into that. And we have a Chilling Trap up. I guess if I Chilling Trap, that would be moderately wasteful of 1 counter. on the amulet, but that's okay. If it's advantageous to use it, then we'll use it. Attack with just the 2/1. I think I will just take it. Not super crazy to use Chilling Trap here. Charix, the Raging Isle. For 3 mana, that gets plus X minus X, where X is the number of islands you control, which is 2 right now, so it's just like a 2/15. Alright, we are definitely digging for our bubble snares for that. Alright, what do we want to do here? I want to just shoot the Royal Mage and hold up Chilling Trap. None of our 4-drops help all that much. I'm fine with that. Might be a bit greedy. But we're holding back Geyser Mage with just our Fisher Wizard. And we're only taking like 2 or 3 damage from the big crab. Here comes the big crab and the Geyser Mage. Block the Geyser Mage. Feel like I'd Chilling Trap here. Try to keep my creatures on the board and get a counter on Relic Amulet. Make the most of my mana while I have it. Because we're going to be tapping out these next turns. We have a bunch of 4s and 5s in hand. Another Cunning Geyser Mage from our opponent, so it's a good thing we've still got our Fisher Wizard down. We've got a Field Research to play. We can play that, and if we hit a land, then we immediately blow up the Geyser Mage. That's pretty exciting to me, and if we don't hit a land, we still have Chilling Trap up. Seems very spicy. Oh yeah, this is Relic Amulet's game. And Fisher Wizard will not block a giant crab very well, so we'll send in. Into the Royal is an excellent draw to deal with that crab. Slow it down. And it does soak up their mana for them to do any damage to us. I guess we do need 6 mana to Into the Royal that. Marasa Sproutling. What does that do? If it's kicked, return a kicker card from their grave to hand, so they return a Geyser Mage. So they can now kick one, bounce our Fisher Wizard, or whatever we play here. 5 mana. We've got the mana to play a 4-drop and hold up a Chilling Trap. Pretty down for that. They bounce the Expedition Diviner when we do this. I guess we could Windrider Wizard and hold up Into the Royal, but I don't think I want to Into the Royal the Sproutling because it has a good enter the battlefield effect. The only thing I want to into the Royal is Charix, which is going to cost us a lot of mana. I guess if whatever I play here is going to get bounced anyway, so I might as well play the card that has an enter the battlefield effect. And scry one here. Fisher Wizard, I don't really want that. Let's hit more lands here. We've got plenty of gas, especially with another Chilling Trap in hand to draw us another card. Bubble Snare instead, okay. Keep the Cascades here just permanently locked down. They've still got the Geyser Mage in hand. We'll Chilling Trap Sproutling. If we hit another land, we can play a 4-drop Wizard and kill Sproutling next turn. We do hit another land, so we know Sproutling's going to die. We could chump 4 damage with Fisher Wizard. I think I'd rather take it for now, just go to 12. There's the Bubble Snare for Charix, so we know that's going to get dealt with soon enough. So now we go 4 mana Wizard, 2 mana Relic Amulet to kill Sproutling. Yeah, because it would cost 3 mana to Bubble Snare Charix right now because of its ability. Yeah, this game's really Relic Amulet's game. This card's been nasty here. No blocks. Hit us for 4 again, down to 8. Okay, and they play an Expedition Diviner. That should be easy enough to shoot after casting a couple wizards. Okay, probably just play another Expedition Diviner. 8 life here. Maybe I hold up into the Royal to play on their Expedition Diviner. If they bounce our Expedition Diviner, we bounce theirs. Then we recast ours, use the charge counters on the amulet. Oh, they can bounce their own cards with Geyser Mage? Alright. That'll work. They're gonna attack with the Diviner. I think I still am cool to Into the Royal it. Still Into the Royal the Crab, but I can chump block it with a Fissure Wizard, so I want to start trying to kill my opponent here, I think. So let's get all their flyers out of here and just play a ton of our own. Play Merfolk Falconer and kill Geyser Mage here. Or just play another flyer instead. Let's play another flyer instead and just have Relic Amulet at the ready to kill their flyer. Seven, 8, 9 damage in the sky. There's Cherax. And that is it. Alright. Another Expedition Diviner. We draw and discard. Definitely discarding Dry Disruption if we hit anything good, because it doesn't do anything at this point. Alright, land is not that good. So we need to not die to like a bounce spell or something, so I think we just attack with 2 of them here, because we can't lethal them. We can get close, but we can definitely lethal them next turn. So let's just make sure we have 2 blockers, so we don't die to them like bouncing and then double pumping Charax. Alright, let's draw a card off our Diviner, I think. And there's the concession from our opponent. They've got 4 mana up. Whatever they play, we'll kill with Relic Amulets and swing with everybody. That will put us into Diamond. And we are 4-0 with this sick blue-red Wizards deck. Relic Amulet is an insane card. I can definitely attest to that now. Here we are in round 5. The mana's pretty rough here. We have 2 lands and we need to get 4 to start playing spells. I think I might have to mulligan this because the Chilling Traps don't draw a card unless we have a wizard on board, so they don't even help us hit our land drops. This seems a bit risky to me. I'm gonna mull. Alright, this is the opposite problem. This is a lot of lands, but luckily 2 of them are flip lands, so we can cast them for some value. Definitely not worth the mull to 5 here. Seam Royal Mage. I don't really have enough early game plays. I'm just going to disrupt that. We'll hold Bubble Snare for whatever big bomb they play we want to kill. But yeah, since I can't play a creature till turn 5, I don't want to just sit here taking 2 every single turn early on in the game. Another Royal Mage here. Can bubble snare that for similar reasons, but then we are out of removal. We're only 1 turn away from our 4-3. We'll let this 2-1 stick around. Alright, we'll see if our Umara Wizard resolves here. They've got a ton of mana up, though. It does resolve, but it may be shot down by some kind of removal. We'll find out soon enough. It is their turn now. They're on blue-green. Turn Timber Ascetic, just a big old 5/4 that gains them some life when they play it. I could tap that down, but our Umara Wizard is big enough to trade into that. And we have a Spell Shield to give it Hexproof and +0/+3, so we can actually trade Spell Shield into that. I think I'm on that plan. Let's just Field Research here, just Divination, draw 2, and pass the turn, holding up Spell Shield to try to beat Turn Timber Ascetic. The green deck in this format, we know that there are like 6/5s with Trample at common, so I'm going to hold on to Bubble Snare for now. Alright, see if this pans out. Play a trick of their own here. Spell Shield of their own. Alright, we'll just bounce off each other. Just hanging out. I guess I didn't need to kick it. Kick it's just for the hexproof. Alright, Sproutling will bring back Royal Mage, which will bring back the Spell Shield. So you're getting some great value over there. I'll just play another 4/3, I guess. So we can still trade into the Ascetic. I guess if they play a single land, though, they pick up Spell Shield and then recast it here. This game is not looking super hot for us. Probably just Bubble Snare the Ascetic. They had 6 mana up and they didn't play anything bigger. I guess because they spent 1 on a Spell Shield, but still. Feels like it's probably their biggest card for now, and their next biggest card we can into the Royal. Just start trying to kill them with big flyers. Hit them for 8 damage next turn. We can make a pretty good effort to outrace them. All we know in terms of the power they'll have on board is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Taunting Arbor Mage, though, forced the trade of our Umara Wizard into the Murasa Sproutling. Rough. Alright, Expedition Diviner to get Umara Wizard into the sky. I will hold on to this land because we do have ways to draw and discard. I keep forgetting to do that, but we'll do it now. We have ways to draw, discard, and we have ways to discard, draw. The Fisher Wizard's discard, draw, and the 3 mana 2/2 Flying Wizard draw, discards. So 6 mana up, they've got 4 cards in hand. We know they have a Royal Mage to pick up a Spell Shield if they really want it, or a Shell Shield. And that is what they're going to do here. Cunning Geyser Mage is the draw. That's pretty sweet. As I go playing the land that I just said, we have reasons to not play. Just slow them down here. Picking up a Royal Mage. That'll let them recast at a Spell Shield again. But now they have to recast a Royal Mage. Not really worried about them picking up Spell Shield another time. Down to 8. They're dead in 2 attacks in the sky. We are dead in more than that. On the ground. It takes 3 attacks to kill us right now. So currently winning the race. But they do have their Spell Shield to counter our Into the Royal. Alright, we'll take 4. Tazim Royal Mage is just going to come right back down. They're holding up the Spell Shield mana. We need to get Umara Wizard into the sky. Can this target creature you control? So we can target our own Geyser Mage to recast it. Just so we know Into the Royal resolves, I guess. 5, 6, 7, 8. And with 8 mana, we can recast it and kick it. And then when we kick it, I guess they have to spell shield. I guess we just kick the Into the Royal on our Geyser Mage, because they'll just spell shield whatever we target on their fields. There's no reason to kick our Geyser Mage. So let's kick the Into the Royal instead on our own Geyser Mage. To get Umara Wizard into the sky and draw a card. Alright, that's not gas. I'm going to play it here so I know I can survive their attack next turn. If they have a removal spell, we die. That's a problem. Because if they have a removal spell or a tap spell or something, Geyser Mage is gone, and we take 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. If it's still around, we take 7. If we hold 2 blockers, we still win if we top deck an instant sorcery or wizard, and then we don't die to removal. Is that better? There's only 1 card in their hand we don't know about, and we know they have Spell Shield. It's a rough choice. We guarantee lethal next turn if we attack both, but we lose to a top decked removal, or the last card in their hand being removal. How many instant sorceries and wizards are left in the deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of these 22 cards, and I'll draw 1 to 2 cards, depending on if Diviner dies. That feels too risky to me. That's leaving it to a 50-50. I mean, it's kind of a 50-50 whether they have removal as well. I don't know. Just lock in the lethal damage next turn. Alright, Moment of Truth, combat trick. Down to 1. Vine Gecko is the play. We didn't hit a wizard, but we can attack with Expedition Diviner. And that is lethal. Alright, 5-0. Super happy with the line I took there, because the other one would not have panned out. That would have been a sad day. Here we are in round 6 with our mono blue wizards deck. Definite keep. Really nice 3-4-5 curve here. If we draw other early game gas, we can hold on to Geyser Mage and make this a 4-5-6 curve, which is pretty good, because if we Geyser Mage after Falconer, we'll scry 2 from the ability of Merfolk Falconer. Opponent starts with Shatterskull Smashing in play, tapped as Shatterskull the Hammer Pass. So, opponent starts the game with a very good card, however, just gonna be a land this game. Until, oh no, they're green-red. Oh, they're green-red, so they can have Kazandu Stomper, they can have Pyroclastic Hellion, they can have a ton of cards that will return a land in play to their hand, so we might get Shatterskull Smashing, and that'll be a crisp, clean 2-for-1. Kill 2 of our creatures with that 1 card very easily. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's hope for no Kazandu Stompers or Pyroclastic Hellions in the late game here. Those cards will just completely overrun us because they're way bigger than our creatures, and we'll get that smashing back. So Rabid Bite to kill our creature, clear the board here. rather scry or get a flyer down. I think I'd rather get a flyer. Especially since it draws a card when it dies if we have another wizard down. So if we hit... well, I guess even if we don't hit another mana next turn, we can just play one of our 4-mana wizards. Ardent Electromancer's coming down. So a green-red party here, a very cabaret-y party. Relic Axe comes into play attached to something, gives +2/+1 if it's a warrior. Paragon is all card types. 2 mana, 3/2, all of the relevant creature types. That's terrifying. We'll just have to take the trade here and not draw the card, unfortunately, I think. Otherwise, we're going to 12. Yeah. Sorry, Diviner. No card draw for us. We can play Geyser Mage and hold up Chilling Trap. I like that better than playing one of the 4-drops here. This way we might get to block and kill Electromancer and still have a creature on board afterward. So our opponent is getting us into the worst case scenario on a lot of our cards, which is a bummer. Part of what is so good about most of our cards is that they are really flexible, like the kicker cards and the diviners and stuff, but opponent's just on a great aggressive start to force some rough blocks like that. Yeah, let's just do the Chilling Trap thing while we have the mana for it, because again, we're going to have to tap out for all these creatures. Falconer down, pass the turn. If this champion comes in, I think we just take it. Cinderclasm for 2 damage to everybody. Goodbye, Geyser Mage. Take 2. Well, I don't super think we're going to win this race, but there's a lot of cards we could top deck that'll change that. Just into the Royal Cunning Geyser Mage type stuff would be incredible here. Kazandu Stomper. Alright. Well, we knew from the moment they played Shadow Skull Smashing, if they dropped Kazandu Stomper, we're basically going to have no chance. Now they're going to kill both our flyers. Guess that's only if X is 6 or more, but they can kill all our blockers and kill us here. Right, we play Pyroclastic Hellion, they do double red 1, 2, 3. I guess they're going to not have enough mana to kill Pyroclastic Hellion, but Kazandu Stomper is going to hit us hard, but Hellion can block Champion. So I think that's probably our plan here, is to play Hellion to block Champion, let Kazandu Stomper hit us hard and just hit them for 7 here, try to kill them 2 turns in the sky. Because we can kill them in 2 turns in the sky. Alright, that's our best bet. We'll go for it. I guess they have to kill Expedition Diviner with the Shadow Skull Smashing to survive. Unless they have other removal that can kill Hellion. If they have other removal that kills Hellion, we just die. But now they're forced into killing a flyer, or we have lethal on board. They do not have the double red and 5 that would be required to kill Pyroclastic Hellion. They don't have the double red and 4 that would be required to kill Falconer unless they have another land to play. So I think they have to kill Diviner. I don't know. If they have another land, then I think this plays probably pretty easily. Just land, kill Falconer, attack with a 6/5 trample. And then we are in a really rough spot, if that's the case. Try to find lethal out of nowhere. Shadow Skull doesn't do damage to our face, does it? No. Down to 3. Do they have Royal Eruption? If they have Royal Eruption, they pretty much get there either way. Because even if they didn't like go for this attack and make us block with Hellion and all that. They could again just Shatter Skull Smashing Falconer and Royal Eruption Diviner. They can't do those both in one turn, but just over time, so they're dealing with all of our threats. Cool, so we are drawing a card off Diviner. Bubble Snare, that's lethal, that's 8 damage. Let's do it. Excellent draw off the Diviner's Death Trigger. And there's the concession from our opponent. That is 6-0 for the Blue-Red Wizards deck. A really scary ending to that game. Get a Kazandu Stomper down, get a Shatter Skull Smashing in hand. 6-0 as we head into round 7. Here we are in round 7, undefeated so far with our Blue-Red Wizards deck. This could be the final round, the final boss, if we can pull out the win here. So let's try to do that, shall we? Another mono blue Wizards hand here, but plenty of land, plenty of gas. I am gonna keep it and see what we can do with this hand. So, no early game plays though. I didn't think that through entirely, but we've got field research coming up. Glasspool Mimic's not so good when we're not going to have any creatures till turn 5. I'm kind of okay to just play Glasspool Mimic, but I could also keep it as a second Falconer. Let's get greedy here and just hold up Jwari Disruption, then Field Research turn 3 off this island and hope we hit more lands there. Maybe we don't even have to play any more modal lands. Maybe we get to keep them as spells. We'll see. Our opponent is on blue as well, with some fancy dragon sleeves. Blue-green again, played against a lot of blue-green today. Going to start with a Skyclave Squid. I think this is another game where I just want to drop the Disruption immediately, because I don't want to get slammed for 3 each turn by the Skyclave Squid, but I'm not going to have a creature till turn 5. Field Research does hit the lands we need to make it all the way up to 5 mana, so we get to keep this Glasspool Mimic in hand to copy our best creature, maybe even hold the Field Research to wait till we have 6 mana. Depending on what we hit next turn, if we hit anything that costs 4 or less that we can just play, we'll definitely do that. That is just a land. So if I just pass here, I'm just getting no value. I'm doing nothing with my mana. Just sitting here. Feel like I'm supposed to just drop Field Researcher and not get too greedy with it. So I'm making the most of my mana. We're not affecting the board state either way, though. I'm going to be greedy about it. There is this concept, I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically that anytime you can be spending your mana, you should be spending your mana, because the player who gets to spend the most mana, play the most spells throughout the game, is going to be the winner of that game pretty much every time. So you want to make the most of your mana and use it when you can. So in situations like that, maybe it's best not to get that greedy and try to get the extra card off the Field Researcher, but I'm a greedy man, because also the player who draws the most cards often will win the game. Alright, Merfolk Falconer of their own. Well, we will have 2 of them. This Canopy Bailiff is going to be an issue, though. That's for sure. We don't need this red mana game. Stop trying to hold it up. Now we can Skyclave Squid and still hold up Chilling Trap. Attack with our Falconer. Guessing we just get in for 4. I don't think they'd want to trade Falconers, but that would be beautiful if they did, because then Chilling Trap would be super on point here. So Skyclave Squid makes it so they just can't attack with Canopy Bailiff if they don't landfall. So I like that a lot. This is still a really threatening card, a 6/5 every time they landfall. So it's just going to slam us if they do. Vastwood Surge. Oh, so double landfall. Well, that's chump block worthy. That is definitely chump block worthy. Goodbye, Skyclave Squid. I'm sorry. But that's a big Canopy Bailiff. 8/7. We go so low if I take this. Go to 6 life, but they're green blue. What are they gonna do to surprise here? Surprise kill me. Skyclave Squid does still hold off Bailiff if I don't block. let's just be real. This game's gonna be all about the greed. Full greed mode. If I don't get a trade out of it, it ain't happening. Now we've got a Cascade Seer. Well, first and foremost, we're sending in our Falconers. That's for sure. Are we both going to Chilling Trap? That would be hilarious. Nope, I am the only one who has the Chilling Trap. Roost of Drakes is beautiful here, but we don't have the blue mana to play that and Cascade Seer, unfortunately. We kill them in 2 more flying attacks either way. Since we kill them in 2 more attacks either way, I'm just going to drop Cascade Seer and Scry. Wind Rider Wizard is coming up. With Roosted Drakes in hand, I actually don't know if that's that necessary. We're more looking for bounce and removal to be safe than we are for more threats. We kind of just have enough threats in a can with Roosted Drakes, plus the cards we already have on board, so I think I'm scrying both to bottom. I am going to play this land so I have the mana for more stuff in the future. Don't want to cast Roosted Drakes right now so I can spend 6 on Field Research and just get a Drake out of it next turn. Or would I rather spend the 4 to get the Drake out of this? 3, 4, 6, 7. I think I'm supposed to just run out Roosted Drakes. This is going to be a quick game from this point on. It's only going to be a couple more turns either way, maximum. Yeah, I think I just dropped this, so that I'm free to use Field Research and get the Drake out of it there, and Scry 4, obviously. Be huge. Yeah, I forgot about the Falconers until just now, so I should have actually just Roosted Drakes instead of Cascade Seer. Because sure, Cascade Seer scries 2, but Roosted Drakes would have scried 4 because of double Falconer. So Canopy Baloth's getting really, really big. If they have a trample trick here, we're going to super die. If they don't, we kill Canopy Baloth. There we go. All right, they have no board state. We got 2 4/4 flyers. See what they cast post-combat here, but I feel pretty good, even being at 6 life. I guess it actually works out that we played the 3/3 instead of the 2/2. Because if we just played the 2/2 from Roost of Drakes, we would not have had enough power to trade into Canopy Baloth there. We would have had 5 instead of 6. So we actually just somehow played around the scale to heights that we didn't know about. So I'll take it. Just another lucky moment for us there in the lines that we've chosen this draft. Gnarled Colony, 4/4 Trample. Trample's terrifying. I have literally no choice but to Field Research here, and we're going to do that pre-combat this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding up a blue and 1 red. Doing it pre-combat, so I know I have a block on Gnarled Colony if I need it. There's Bubble Snare, that's pretty nice. Costs us 4 mana though. But I think we take it with 2 Falconer and Rooster Drakes. Oh, Into the Royal, such a good draw. Oh my god. Now I'm so safe to send in. And we have Into the Royal up and then Bubble Snare for their creature next turn to guarantee lethal. So if they try to find lethal this turn off some kind of combat trick, we Into the Royal. And if they get any flyers out, we Bubble Snare. Beautiful draws. I'm so glad I was just scrying away stuff like the 2/2 Wind Rider Wizard and stuff. Because I think this was the last card we drew, was this Into the Royal. Go for the block here, take 2. They're not going to have 4 targeted damage here. Roost of Drakes of their own. We bounce that Drake and get in for lethal. Oops. hit for 8. And that is a 7-0. My first 7-0 in quite some time. Usually it's like 7-2s if I win a draft for the maximum suspense. But hey, return draft to the format, 7-0. I'll absolutely take it. Sick Blue-Red Wizards deck here. Very reminiscent of the Dominaria Blue-Red Wizards tempo stuff. But this time it looks like in Zendikar, flyers are a bigger part of that deck and a bigger deal. There's not a lot of flying wizards in Dominaria, so here's one last look at the deck. If you are interested, it played super well. Relic Amulet absolutely shredded in like the 2 games that we got it to, that we just drew it early game. A lot of the games we just didn't draw it at all. The Merfolk Falconer was huge, obviously being an air elemental with upside. Roost of Drakes was super great. Yeah, everything in here performed pretty well. It did its job. What were the underperformers, the weakest cards in here? Probably just like Shell Shield. I ended up discarding this to draw and discard draw spells a lot. Cascades here as well wasn't super good. Just that 3/3 body on the ground, not really doing what we want, but all of our flyers were put in work. Cunning Geyser Mages were put in work. Fissure Wizards to get out of the flooded opening hands every now and then were excellent. Even Skyclave Squid, being a decently sized blocker on the ground, was put in work there. So really happy with everything that did end up in the deck. And yeah, that's going to end the Zendikar Rising draft. So that is going to end today's video. I hope you all enjoyed the draft as much as I enjoyed playing it. If you want to see some more of this content, just stick around on the channel. There will be plenty more limited in the near future. We have Ravnica Mixer Seals and Zendikar Rising quick drafts. I'll probably do a bit of a flip-flop between the two, do a little bit of each, but then next Friday we have the start of Tinkerer's Cube drafts. They are returning with a new Tinkerer's Cube. So that'll be a fun time for a couple weeks there, leading up to the launch of Streets of New Capenna. So tons of great limited on the horizon. I'm super excited to be playing all of it. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.